just go super slow. Yeah, this is cool. Alright, we're at Mt Saint Helens. This is Marcus Klotz. I'm Michael Torkildsen, and we're going to shoot the Milky Way behind Mt Saint Helens. Want to zoom in here so you can check it out a little more. So actually to the left a little bit, there's another volcano right there, and that is Mount Adams. And if you were to climb Mt Saint Helens, you see 4 other volcanoes. You see Mount Rainier over to our left shoulder, and then to the right and straight back you would see Mount Hood and Mount... dang, I forget what it is. Alright, I just pulled up. You can't see me because it's so dark. Here we go. At Johnson's Observatory Ridge, or something like that. And the mountain, the volcano's behind us. So we're going to walk down this trail over here, line up the Milky Way on the Photo Pills app. And once we figure out where it's at, we'll just camp out there and stay until we get the shot. We got Pat Sloan with us right there. We got Marcus Klotz. We got Becca and Ken setting up camp. All right, finally getting over that hill. We can see, oh, it's snow. I gotta watch my feet here. And the wind stopped too, so that's great. Look at that as we come over the hill. Oh, the snow is slick. Here we go. These guys are way ahead of me. Look at that, it's gorgeous. Can't wait to shoot that Milky Way behind it. So we just viewed the Milky Way on our Photo Pills apps, and the spot we're standing on right when we hit the trail is just as good as any. And about 11:30 to 2:30, it'll be hitting right behind the crater of the volcano of Mt Saint Helens. And of course, at 11:30, we'll be able to start to see it. It'll be dark enough, but still going to be pretty horizontal. And then it'll just continue to straighten out and stand up as the night goes. But we're going to go up to this ridge right behind us there, and we're thinking that's going to get us a little bit better advantage. We'll look down on the mountain, and so it won't cover up the core of the Milky Way as bad. So, gonna head that way and walk on up. It's absolutely gorgeous. The color from the sunset is starting to fade now. And there's not a lot of clouds in the sky, which is gonna be great for Milky Way, but not so great for sunrise. Oh my God, and the moon is about to set. Let's see if we can zoom in. It's super tiny. Tiny, tiny, tiny moon. All right, where is it? Yeah, right there in the center. Check that out. Just a little sliver. I was hoping to use some of that light to light up the snow, but it's pretty bright still during the blue hour, and we'll use that to illuminate the surface. It's morning time. Sun should be rising in probably like 20 minutes. And we have a pretty good night shooting Milky Way, and I'm excited to see what those look like when I get home. Everything looks good on your LCD, and then when you get home, look on your monitor, it doesn't look as good sometimes. So again, we got Marcus back there. Say hello, Marcus.
Hey.
We got Ken down here.
Hey.
He's like, hey. And then we got Pat over there.
Hey, good morning.
All right. And it is a beautiful morning. There's no clouds in the sky, so we're not going to get an amazing color, but we'll get first light on Mt Saint Helens, and so that's what we need to get going to do. All right, let's do this. So there she is, and I want to find an interesting foreground element to frame up and put a little corner interest in my photo. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm looking for some cool ground cover here, and it's pretty barren. Not a lot to choose from. Of course, there were 100, 200 foot pine trees here in 1980, I think it was 80, and then when Mt Saint Helens blew, it knocked everything down, and as you can see, hardly anything has started to grow back yet. But the barren landscape is something like from Mars, and with this soft morning glow light, it's just beautiful. And I hope to find something before light hits the top of Mt Saint Helens there and get that peak action. And when that first light hits the mountain, that peak action is kind of a defining moment. It only happens twice a day, early in the morning and right before the sun sets. That peak action is what we want in a photo, in anything. In a basketball, the winning goal; football, the winning catch. And those moments in landscape photography are when the sun does something unique. When it's in the sky all day long, I mean, it's in the sky all day long. But when it touches something for the first time, that's an event. And that peak moment is what we're going to catch here this morning. With cloudless skies, I mean, there's some wisps there, but in 30 minutes, it'll be too contrasty to shoot. So our golden hour this morning will be a golden 30 minutes. So, what to find? Do I talk to you, or do I find something to shoot? It's really, really pretty. Another thing about the golden hour is all the tones down here are going to be their strongest at this time. And as the sun rises in the sky, the tones will start to drop out. And we want lots of pretty tones. Didn't get much sleep last night. We shot until 1:30, 2 a.m., got to the car at 2 a.m., and the sun rises in the Pacific Northwest really early in the summer at 5:28, according to the weather app that I use. So we set the alarm pretty early, and that meant a nap and not sleep. And I don't really think I slept. I didn't get a deep sleep. So that'll be a problem for the 3-hour drive back. But it's worth it. And I will sleep the rest of the morning. It looks like that glow is just now starting to happen right there on the inside rim. So I've got to find a good foreground element, and I have to find it fast. I might go back to one I saw earlier. It wasn't great, but it's in the next 5 minutes, I think it's the best one. This light's gonna happen fast, so I'm gonna run my ass off. It's back a little ways. We came pretty far. and God, I don't want to miss it. Crap, I'm missing it, but I know it'll last for a couple minutes. Look at there. So I'm not getting quite what I want here. The photo is really crammed in one area of the frame. I'm not utilizing the frame very well at all, and I'm losing my light. It's actually really nice right now, but it's not great right now. And kind of one of the things I want to do is, it's so bright up top and it's not bright in my foreground, so I'm going to use a filter to even that out. A graduated neutral density filter. You can bracket this shot, but I really like to get it in one photo. I think it helps. I've also bracketed it, and I can go ahead and do that too. I'm going to bring it up a little bit. I'm going to overexpose the ground. This is the scene that I'm trying to capture, and it's a little jammed in. I prefer my elements to be a little more spread out. If I was out in the woods, I would just move that log and kind of rearrange it to my desire, pre-processing, if you will. But I'm in a national forest. This is a park trying to preserve what happened in 1980 when the volcano erupted. So this could be an original log facing the original way, and I don't want to move that. I don't want to change this scene from what would be, I guess, documenting the story. So the light on the mountain is moving down. Our peak moment is starting to pass, and we're now kind of going into just different scenes as the light exposes Martian-like terrain, and it's adding new values to the scene. We're getting crevasses, we're getting shadows in the canyons. I've seen elk from here. It'd be really cool to see some elk. Although I'm shooting wide, I'm at probably about 26, 27 millimeters. Any elk out there would be way too far to see. I'm shooting wide. This is a grand landscape, but that mountain is really far away, so I'm not on my 16 to 35, although that would work here because I'm only about like 26 or 27. But I was advantageous because I was shooting on this lens last night when I ended. And that way I didn't need to switch lenses when I was running back over here to catch that decisive moment. So I'm going to keep using my graduated neutral density filter. I think these are a must for landscape photographers. And I'm just going to keep shooting this scene. So I am focusing really close to make sure my foreground elements are in focus. And because it is so close, the mountain might be out of focus. So I'm going to focus stack this one. I'm going to take another image, focus out a little further, not on the mountain, but down at the base, like really close in. And then everything pretty far this way should be in focus. And then everything behind me should be in focus. I'm not really shooting anymore. I'm just taking it in. It's just so beautiful here. I mean, look at that. Here's what I'm shooting, and the mountain is just gorgeous. This is like Mars. This is what Mars must look like. And that is an active volcano. When we came up last night, there was steam coming out of that vent. Well, I think the epicness of the day is over. So I'm going to end filming here. Let you know that I will be back because the wildflowers will come out here in about another month. So I'll shoot those at sunset. And then also I'll get Milky Way again with the volcano and wildflowers as my foreground subject. That ought to be pretty amazing. There's still a lot of snow out. There's wildflowers in other regions of Washington. We're at a little bit of higher elevation, and so that is going to prevent the wildflowers in this spot from being here at the moment. But give it another 2-3 weeks and they should be blooming really nicely. All right, signing off for now. I'll see you later.